Hi, hello, welcome back to another vid, and today's vid is going to be an update version of the Regen poison tank. And before we get started, showcasing. But first of all, I want to state what is the nerf to this build. Well, first of all, the nerf is actually specifically for the armor set, is the Mechalite set, which is the nerf, if I'm not mistaken, is only a longer cooldown. This part here, the Mechalite knife. So, other than that, there's nothing else. But yeah, for the nerf, it's only that. So just a heads up, for the armor set and the accessory, there's nothing actually you need to change. It's still the same as the old version, and but there is something that you need to change to be use this build a bit more effective. So the first order of business that you need to change is first of all the weapon. Now I actually have found a better weapon than the Mechalite Buster's axe. It is the Dream Dust Flask from, if I'm not mistaken, the Harvester Droid or Robot that is in the upper floor of the laboratory. And for the buff, you can still use tea, or for a substitute, maybe you can use sour juice, like make it from 5 lemon. And for the food bar, it's still the same. And for the major thing is this. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There's a image placer that is going to be a weapon that is used specifically only for misgiving fight. Now this 3 weapon is the most effective, kind of effective to use at misgiving. And first we have the heavy guiding diamond. Now why is this effective is because first it's carrying intellect, and well, first of all, it's usually not used with fire gem. It should be used with a light gem. I forgot to actually change it, and what you need to do is to use actually a light gem, not fire gem. And here is the eventide. If you already killed the misgiving and you got the weapon, you can actually use the eventide, even though it is actually element dark, and misgiving itself is only element dark, which is not really effective. But if you put a light gem, it is quite effective though. As you can see here, this is a element dark, and it would be ineffective if it's used without a light gem. And for first place that is most effective is, well, another Dream Dust Flash. Well, first of all, it is scaling with the intellect, and the base stat for the Regen tank, it is really high with the intellect, which is make this weapon a perfect choice, the perfect match. And yeah, you just gotta put light gem and you're good. Now I'm going to turn back, and behind me is a picture of something that you need crucially for this build for fighting misgiven or any other boss, but for specifically misgiven. Now this thing is, yep, bolster. Now you might be thinking, why the hell bolster? First of all, there's a status effect that misgiving give is decay. Basically, simply you just actually the amount of max HP is reduced to the amount of stack that decay is given to the player. So, but if you parry some of the misgiving attack, the decay status effect will reduce to around maybe like 1 level, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot, but basically that. And for tanking, it is a bit annoying because if you don't have HP, you basically can't tank anything. Now with bolster, and you might be thinking, why don't you just don't parry it normally? Well, first of all, my friend, this is a tank build. The reason why you use this is you are lazy as something to parry. You don't want to parry, just go in and just hit everything. Now with bolster, this is something different. Because Misgiving is one of the boss who is moving a lot and have a lot of range attack that is with obviously window attack, is quite easy to actually parry it, and with bolster it just become a breeze. Now I'm gonna show you an example of how do you use this build with those three weapon. Hey, this is Editor Jen. I forgot to actually put the image of the full scale, but basically you just get rid of the root and then change it to base bolster. And also for the guiding diamond, you use the ember technique.
Yay! 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 Yay!
Hope you enjoyed this vid and bye, and don't forget always buff.